So, for today's daily challenge, we have Umbra Melting Remnant as our clans, and the mutators are upgraded drafts. Cards in reward packs and unit banners come with a random upgrade. Musical chairs shuffle the position of all units in the train after combat, and brawl. Friendly and enemy units get +5 attack and +10 health. Your player gets +10 attack. So, looking at the scores today seems to be a relatively low powered run. The scores range from 45k to just above 46k here on the first page of the leaderboard. That usually means it's gonna be a relatively difficult challenge, and it's probably gonna be hard to get any flying kills or something like that. So we should definitely focus on consistent bottom floor kills, not taking damage, taking all the trials, instead of trying to force a flying kill, unless we see a good way of doing it. But yeah, let's jump into the game and see what we have for today. Well, Brawl and the Musical Chair are some pretty rough mutators, and while I think the upgraded drafts is a pretty nice benefit, it doesn't give you more potential like many other upside modifiers do. So we'll see about that. Hi Nightbreeze, happy to see you. So our starting deck contains Feast, 2 Hallowed Drippings and 2 Immortal Traits as our random cards. Let's take a look at the relic. Oh, there's a Fossilized Fangs. We already have a Feast. We're doing it. Let's go Gorge. And Gorge Penumbra is not available. Architect has some trouble with musical chairs, mostly, because you can't really use him as a backliner behind a Gorge unit, because sometimes he will be in the front and then the Gorge unit can't Gorge. So let's go with Monstrous Penumbra instead, just for the raw stats. We also have the Immortal Traits, which work really well with Monstrous Penumbra. Enemy units enter with armor 10 and we fight the Clergyman. So we can't place Penumbra on this floor. He would just die to this Clergyman. Unless I play a drag in front and play an Immortal Trait on Penumbra as well. But even then, the next wave would probably require me to play another drag. Or a morsel. That's 5 cards out of 16. A single morsel would actually do, yeah. So sure, let's set up the bottom floor, so we have a chance to actually get that bottom floor kill against the boss. We only have one Ember to play with here. I think I'm gonna use a drag for the block. Let's also throw away the Hallowed Drippings and set up a Train Steward on the top floor. Musical chairs will make these Clergymen switch, so we actually have a chance of hitting the weaker one. So maybe we can take one out. Two Ember this turn. I think I'm gonna go with the Shade Splitter and the Train Steward. So we can take out the front clergyman, the backliner will make it to the pyre and deal 6 damage to us. That's okay. And we already have the win on the bottom floor, so this next wave doesn't matter. Very nice. Only took 6 damage here, managed to take the trial and 3-turn boss rush the enemy. Whew! Permafrosted Feast, Permafrosted Prismal Dust, and Permafrosted Making of a Morsel. There's a lot of frost going on there. So, right now, we don't really have Gorge synergy. We have the chance to pick it up. There is an Umbra unit which has a very high chance of being a Gorge unit. Although not every Gorge unit is equally useful. We currently don't have enough morsel generation to really use Feast and even feed a Gorge unit very well. So making of a morsel could help. Prismal Dust, with Permafrost it's a lot better. But I think Immortal Trade serves us better for doing the boss kill and things like that. Just defensive value. I think I'm gonna go with the Making of a Morsel here. Ooh. Entombed Explosive with Multi-Strike. The Engulfed in Smoke with double stack already. That's very powerful. There's also a cost reduced Molded, but this Engulfed in Smoke is hard to turn down. Makes it a lot easier to set up on the bottom floor. If you can make your units harder to hit or not hittable at all. The Engulfed in Smoke certainly does have synergies with the Making of a Morsel. But I kinda want the Engulfed. I think it's very powerful. Ooh, we have an alloy construct, sadly with a pretty bad upgrade. How bad is it really? It's not great. Crucible one with multi-strike already is certainly nice. But is that really better than an alloy construct with a wasted upgrade slot? Well, it's not really wasted, it's just defensive but not all that great. Well, with Fossilized Fang, Crucible Warden can generate a nice chunk of damage shield. Yeah, the main benefit of Warden is that it's a lot easier to play. Wickless Baron with spikes is, by the way, not terrible at all. It kills backliners and grows at the same time, which is a very nice combo. But I think I really like this Crucible one with multi-strike here. Just because it already has multi-strike makes it so much easier to pick. And now we already have a very solid Gorger. Maybe it's time to just upgrade it. We only have 100 gold though. We could easily afford some... Yeah, that's certainly true. We with Brawl the spikes don't really matter that much. That's certainly a thing. Let's go for the Merchant of Steel. A large stone, okay. That's actually very good. We don't have that much morsel generation right now, so I'm quite happy with it. Wickless Tycoon, Wickless Baron. These are both pretty hard to use. Wickless Baron with a large stone is at least somewhat useful, but still think I'd rather skip here. Yeah, this Warden should be pretty good. We don't currently have the morsel generation required to make it amazing, but with the double gorge it should be fairly strong. I think Penumbra on the top to catch anything that gets past our bottom floor. And Crucible Warden is gonna be that bottom floor. Magma Morsel, very nice. A little bit of extra damage against this guy. And Trace York can just be in the second floor and down there. Now this is obviously a problem. I think we solved this problem by using the Engulfed in Smoke, so we then don't take too much damage here. Too bad Train Steward can't kill the Collector on her own. It's really a shame. I think I want to heal up the one. Yeah, that looks quite solid. Well, it certainly doesn't feel like I made any mistakes on this fight. But who knows? We already win here. Yeah, Brawl can be rough. Especially in fights like these where there are just a ton of enemies around. I really like the cave-in with Permafrost. Wouldn't mind a cost reduced making of a morsel or even a permafrosted immortal tray, but even if you take more than 25 damage it can be worth, because you can't lose more than 50% points anyways. And it still gives you gold or other rewards for scaling. I don't think I want Purifying Cleanse or Whiplash, even though these upgrades are pretty nice. More interested in the Drip Fall. But is it really better than a Cave-In? Or do I want it alongside the Cave-In? Not sure about that. Pyre health, yeah. Well, what do we need? Think we should go to the right. Or do we want to dupe anything? The Engulfed in Smoke maybe? Probably not. At 2 cost it's still pretty annoying to use. Let's go to the right. We can maybe cost reduce it. Hold over. We could also hold over it. Might be a bit too much. Especially because we have pretty defensible units. Like, especially Crucible one is very defensive with its Gorge effect, and we have the double Gorge trigger. So maybe I'm more interested in having holdover on something like Shade Splitter. Making of a morsel is a bit too expensive to have holdover on it. Dripfall would work, but I'm not sure how valuable that really is. I kinda wanna cost reduce some of these 2 costs, like the Engulfed in Smoke. Maybe I just skip the holdover here. I mean, holdover is usually very good, but just don't see it that as that powerful in this deck. Holdover cave in, but it's already permafrosted. Do we really need holdover on it as well? Feel like that's not necessary. Just want to get some cost reductions. Morsel Maker. No, not with musical chairs. Alloy Construct with extra health is decent, but we don't have enough morsel generation to have another Gorger. Copy. Well, we could copy an Engulfed in Smoke once. That seems reasonable. We could also copy a Making of a Morsel once. That's also not too crazy. I don't think I want to copy anything 5 times here. I don't mind the Making of a Morsel. It's a decent stat gain and it doesn't require too much capacity. It also has permafrost just in case we don't want to play it on a turn. I could consider using it 5 times, but that's just not, it's just not a strong enough scaling card to rely on it alone. And if we can't rely on the card alone, we don't want to have 6 of them. 2? Yeah. 6? Probably not. This is a decent amount of damage to take. We could block some damage with the Train Steward, but that seems unnecessary. Also, the Train Steward wouldn't die, which would cause problems with Gorging. Rubble Morsels, sure. It's 4 damage shield. Keep an Umbra healthy for now. Don't want to play the Feast. Because now I have more Ember this turn, where otherwise I wouldn't have been able to spend the Ember very efficiently. Or at all. I think we use the Engulfed in Smoke here. So the problem with this is that now the morsels get attacked on future turns. So maybe I shouldn't have done it on this floor. Well, we'll see. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. But we can still protect the morsel with the drag, and then things should be okay. This is fine. Now we just give these morsels stealth as well. Damage shield and stealth works pretty well together. Well, we have won. Easy win right there. Didn't even have to leave the stealth. Shroud Mitosis with permafrost. Forever consumed with spell damage and Bounty Stalker with a Battle Stone. The Battle Stone is pretty much a wasted slot on the Bounty Stalker, and Bounty Stalker is very reliant on getting the right upgrades, and we currently have no way of killing or reforming him. So we would need to put in quite a bit of work to make this Bounty Stalker worth it. If we find a Wick Stone, we would need a way to revive it. If we find Endless, we would need a way to kill it more quickly. But honestly, with just Endless, he's already decent. But decent is not good enough, I think, because it is a lot of work to put into a single unit, and Traumatosis is just a great card. Especially with Permafrost guaranteeing that we can land it very easily. Shadow Eater, Paraffin Enforcer, Crucible Warden, Rage, Incant and Endless upgrades. No, I don't think we want these. Capacity increase would certainly be nice, we want one eventually anyway, but with the Shroud Mitosis it's less necessary. I think we go draw first and take the capacity upgrade after we beat Fell. Unless we find something like an Iceberg and can get a Railbeater's Hammer or something like that. Or whatever it's called. The +1 capacity cavern artifact. Yeah, I like this left side. Lady of the Reformed with extra attack, Paraffin Thug with extra health. I wouldn't mind the thug. That could be fairly decent. Just to generate some gold. But because my current setup relies on the Crucible Warden being on the bottom floor early on, like at the first turn, I want the Crucible Warden at the first turn because I always want it to be on the bottom floor. And that makes me not like the having another priority unit as much. Memorial Fund is nice because extra gold, but Refined Void is very nice with the units we currently have. Crucible Warden can heal up after taking some damage, and then from that point after he will have damage shield protecting him, potentially, and Penumbra just benefits a lot from the 2 lifesteal. Memorial Fund also isn't great with morsels because they don't die when they get eaten, they disappear. Currently, definitely not, no. We definitely need more damage if we wanna be able to kill Gilded Wings. Which is certainly a problem, but I think there are a few ways we can get past that problem. What do I want to remove? The drags are much less useful now that Penumbra has grown in capacity, and we can't use them to block damage for him, but I think they still outperform Train Stewards. The Shade Splitters are still necessary. Hello Drippings is basically their car, but at least it's 0 cost and consume. Yeah, let's get rid of the Train Stewards first. They don't really provide much benefit. They can't even kill a Collector on their own. While Drax can still do that. Sure, Spikes should be fine. Our morsels do have enough health to survive spikes, so that's not an issue. And we can start out with a double morsel miner on the first turn. That's certainly nice. Maybe I should have considered keeping one of the morsel miners for the shroud mitosis. This is already enough to kill everyone here. I think I'm gonna daze the Clip Guardian. It could also take away some damage from Penumbra, but Penumbra still has lifesteal and this actually preserves the damage shield, which is overall more useful. No. I can't do much besides that. No morsel generation in this hand. That's a bit annoying. Let's play out some units. Do I want to stealth you? Probably not. Because it will be a while until I have the feast available again. I'm gonna stealth Penumbra instead. Which is probably not necessary, but certainly doesn't hurt. I would like some additional damage against this Clip Defender, but I can't see a way right now. Well, there might actually be a way. 12 health. If we daze this guy. Okay, here's what we'll do. We daze the Clip Guardian, so the morsel jeweler in the front line survives the hit from these guys with 1 HP. The lifesteal will keep the morsel jeweler alive. So with 5 plus 66 damage we kill the Clip Defender, so we get a hit for 66 in against the Clip Guardian. I kind of actually want room on this floor. These units are not doing anything of use, so might as well let them die. And now these units are low enough on health that Penumbra can easily finish them. And now with 14 damage shield and 3 stealth, we have an easy way of winning this boss fight. We're not using tomes and we are very unlikely to pick up tomes, so I'll skip. Excavation Eruption with extra damage and consume. That's not even bad. We just need to find a Merchant of Magic to cost reduce it, and the 40 damage will do very well against backliners. The fact that we have to find a Merchant of Magic first, and I really don't want to go to the left here because there's a Merchant of Trinket and an Unstable Vortex on the right side, makes me very hesitant to pick it up though. Here there isn't even a Merchant of Magic at all, and I'm not sure where I'm gonna go later on. I think I have to skip. Even though I would really like that card, Crushing Demise with Permafrost is actually very good. We have the middle floor empty most of the time, and with Permafrost we should be able to use this to remove some units on the second floor. Granted, we will oftentimes not be killing the backlines until the top floor with Penumbra, so it's a bit less effective because we can't guarantee it hits a front line, but still solid. Firewall, Hammer, Chest Blades and Mind Jacks. That changes things a little. Now we might set up the second floor instead. That makes the crushing demise a bit weaker, but we can still use it on the top floor for enemies that get past Penumbra. But that still makes it slightly weaker. But yeah, mine checks means we don't really have to pick up capacity if we want to use the biggest Penumbra. Although we might want capacity anyways because of the Crucible Warden on the bottom floor. And overall, I think mine checks might not be as good as it could be in this deck. I kinda would prefer extra Ember or extra card generation relics over mine checks right now, but that's not very many relics that I would take over it. The question is more, is it worth 180 points to spend to buy a mine checks? It might not be. Extra card draw relic. But here I see something that might be even... No, Teeth of Gold is not good. We can't eat enough morsels reliably to kill backliners with it. Because of Brawl, we need to eat 4 morsels to trigger it, which we can do with the Shroud Mitosis or with a Feast and 2 waves of morsels. So that will make Teeth of Gold pretty good. Because I currently don't have any way of killing backliners, I am tempted, but with Brawl it's a bit hard to justify. I'll take the Mask of Penumbra instead, which is an extra card draw pretty much every turn. Let's remove the final 2 Train Stewards. We literally have no use for them. They are consuming, but most of the cards we would remove do consume, like the Dregs, like the Hallowed Drippings. Mark of Invasion. These are the 2-1, which will be 7-11. Guys. Also, the Crystal Cloak. Crystal Cloak should be no problem with this deck, because we have so much damage shield and we can even have stealth of our own. Do I want to start out with a Crushing Demise on any floor? Well, Penumbra has enough power to kill these waves, but we can save some damage on Penumbra. If we play it on the bottom floor, we could guarantee only one of them goes up to the top. Yeah, I think it's... we can also just smoke Penumbra. That sounds so wrong. Crucible Warden. Yeah, stealth definitely saves more damage, and we only have 3 Ember. So we are playing Crucible Warden, making off a morsel and stealth. The question is, who do we stealth? The problem with stealth on this floor, again, is the fact that future morsels will not be stealthed, so they will be attacked. I think I'm gonna stealth the Penumbra for now. We have the lifesteal, so we don't need to block any damage or anything on that floor. And let's just get these out of the hand. Okay, that's a nice hand here. Crushing Demise on this floor has a chance to give me the Collector, but because of how this maths out, the chance is pretty low. It's only a 1 in 3 chance. Because I can't get a collector with 2 dregs because this guy now has 13 HP. I could get a collector if I used making of a morsel on this floor. But that's just not worth it, is it? Like, these guys go here anyways, at least we kill the sycophant, but I think I want to set up these monsters on the bottom. Okay, that changes things. No it doesn't. Let me think about this. I could have done it. I just could have placed the morsel in the front and saved the shroud mitosis for later. Yeah, that's a pretty big mistake. I should have gotten the collector and just used the shroud mitosis in a later turn. It does have permafrost for a reason. Although this is a prime target for it, so... Let's make some morsels. Ooh, shroud mitosis. Can't say I'm sad to see that. Or do we want a lot of Ember next turn? No. No, 4 Ember is more than enough. Immortal trait, not necessary. Although this Clip Guardian will be a pain to deal with. Well, I do see a way to deal with him. And that's Cave In. So we kill everyone here. Then the Clip Guardian will move up and we can Crushing Demise him next turn. I am considering using Engulfed in Smoke here, and I should. It's actually really, really good. Crushing Demise this floor. This guy is okay. He won't reach the top. He won't reach the pyre because the fight will end before that. Yeah, this works out. Having stealth of our own makes the stealth of the Crystal Cloak much less threatening, and the damage shields are very good against the Crystal Cloak as well. Engine upgrade. I certainly wouldn't mind having one more Ember. So many cards with permafrost. Sacred Wicks with non-consume. Also Memories of the Melted with permafrost. We still have the 3 Dregs at the very least, so we could use this for burst Ember generation decently well. Sacred Wicks will oftentimes find morsels, which is nice. 2 random morsels. 2 morsels we have generated prior and eaten is worth an Ember, because very often there will be morsel miners among them, but the Dregs are not worth. I think I'll take a Sacred Wicks. Have a little bit of extra morsel generation, but what I really want now is something that can target backliners decently well without requiring a ton of extra work. I kinda want the removals. Yeah. If I were to dupe anything, what would it be? It would be Shroud Mitosis. That card is really good and it has permafrost. Yep. I think that's what we do here. Bone Shine, Bone Rattler? No, we shouldn't be taking damage at this point. Might still change for the final two fights where there are Gilded Wings, but currently we're in a pretty decent spot. Drags are more useful than Hallowed Drippings. That would be different if we had any consume spell synergy, like the Pyre Health or 30 damage one. But we don't, so these drags are pretty much better, straight up better. Scorch Fell. It's a bit annoying, makes the start a little more difficult, and I do want to avoid taking damage. Maybe I should have taken the Bone Shine on just for this fight, so I could take some pyre damage and heal it back up at a later turn. I guess I'll let that Absolver live. That shouldn't be that big of a problem. Just so I can play this penance and not take any damage. Because now we only have one weight of contrition in the hand. And we can actually start to generate some morsels to prepare for stronger enemies. Should have played the morsel first, because I would have used the Shroud Mitosis this turn. This is an issue. We will take a... No, it's fine. It's all fine and well here. Especially now that we have the extra Ember generation online, things should be going pretty well from here on out. There is a drag in the consume pool. Let's hope we don't hit it. And we didn't. So that means we can do this. Feast. And do it again. Which should provide us with all the power we will ever need for this fight. Well, not we will ever need, because we need to kill these Clipped Guardians. But I mean, we have an Umbra helping with that as well, so... I definitely don't want to take any damage. We will have another making of a morsel next turn, so we can use that. Oh, we drew it immediately. That's also pretty nice. Penumbra is pretty low on health. If we Immortal Trade now, we can still Immortal Trade next turn. Because if we Immortal Trade now, our Ember will be taken up with the Immortal Trade and... Oh! For some reason I thought Fell was going to put a Scorch in our hand this turn. But that's only next turn where this is gonna happen. No feast this turn, sadly. That means we'll just play one Shroud Mitosis here. And I do want to heal up my Penumbra. Can't really do much useful here. Let's just generate some morphs and put them on the top floor. Just in case something gets through, that little bit of extra damage might help. It's unlikely, but there's a chance. This turn, sadly, we have to play the ultimate penance if we don't want to take damage, so there's not much else we can do besides that. But we should be able to kill here with 20 damage shields easily. Very nice. Just as I said in the beginning, we have a deck that's very defensive, very safe, protects the pyre pretty well, protects the units pretty well, but doesn't go for flying kills. Shroud Mitosis. Well, we certainly don't want Wax and Spike. We might want Sacrificial Resurrection, but it's not that important. Honestly, you can hardly ever have too many Shroud Mitosises. Well, 3 is... well, 4 would probably be too many right now. I wouldn't mind removals, but I think I prefer this side because the Merchant of Steel and the Pyre health is pretty much worthless at this point. Let's go to the left. Merchant of Magic for double stack? No, we don't have magic power cards. But the cost reduction is still useful, for example on the Sacred Wigs. What else do we even want? At this point, Holdover on Feast wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's do it. With all these Shroud Mitosises, we have so much mortal generation. Probably not. Ember Stasis, maybe, but I could see Ember Stasis being good. But it's so expensive to use. Yeah, that's a question, do we? Our Penumbra will grow again. There won't usually be Gilded Wings right at the start. I could consider the Weather a Coldstone actually. I think that might be an increase in score. Yeah, I like it. The reason behind that is that we will have Gilded Wing waves where there will be heavily wounded units left that get past our defenses and do some pyre damage. Just one hit from one unit. And if we can heal that back up, we can keep our score. And the Weather Coldstones are not too Ember intensive. So maybe this works out pretty well. Also, this first wave is an absolute pain in the butt, because the Gilded Wing is in the back. And we can't really afford to put Penumbra on the bottom floor. Penumbra is not gonna make it. I do want to play the engine upgrade right away. And we have a 0 cost permafrost traumatosis. So we can use the 0 cost this turn. We will have more than enough amber for next turn. Yeah, let's give me some more of these juicy morsels. Good thing this no longer triggers harvest, otherwise this guy would be a bit of a problem. I want the Gilded Wing to be by themselves, so we can actually bring them down to a low HP and don't have anything else besides their Gilded Wing going to the next floor. Because Umbra can take care of these, can't he? That's 40, 73, 86. Yeah, that's not even 120 health. That's easy to deal with. Just want to deal as much damage against this guy as possible here. Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah, I might not want to hold over the feast here. Maybe having hold over on the feast was actually a mistake. Who knows? So now we took 13 damage, so we need to play 3 of these Vengeful Shards to heal it back up. And that should be no problem. Let's play a morsel first. Maybe we draw Dripfall and then we can descend the Wild Wings and focus the Gilded Wing with the Crushing Demise. This should give us morsels. Yep. Nope, we have to gamble it. Yes! That's amazing. Top floor is fine. We'll play this for the healing. And also to not take damage. Yeah, other than that we just push out more power. These 10 health morsels are pretty nice to duplicate, 10 attack morsels, because they deal significant damage to these Wild Wings. The other feast was pretty valuable. This cave-in is not doing very well. But that's fine. There's no blight left in the deck, which means we might not be able to heal all the damage we took this fight. But we also might be able to. Yeah, there's no real reason to do anything here. Nah, I was really hoping for a blight here. Oh well, it's just 3 damage. That's still solid. I think I played the drag, didn't I? Holdover Crucible Extension, Holdover Non-Consuming Amber Cache, and Holdover Void Binding. I don't think we are interested in any of these. Maybe the Crucible Extension, but not really. No. Resin removal to cleanse the sap. It's 0 cost at least. So that's not terrible. We can also sometimes use it to apply Immortal Trade and cleanse the buffs. Weird that the upgrades are always the expensive one. I think it's just an even distribution. There are 4 large spell upgrades and only 3 small ones. The 3 small ones being cost reduction, 10 magic power and 20 magic power and consume. And the large ones being permafrost, holdover, consume removal, and finally the... Wait, permafrost, consume removal, holdover, and double stack. And you can only reroll, you can only roll random ones that actually apply. So for any spell that doesn't have magic power, you can't roll the 2 magic power small ones. So there's only cost reduction and any of the large ones that apply. Well, you can see one right before us here, and I think I had one earlier with cost reduction. Yeah, the Shroud Mitosis, I picked it. So the cost reduction certainly does show up, but it's not any more common than the other ones. Also I'm thinking skip might be better here. We don't want the resin removal. I don't think it's impactful enough. Do we want a dupe or do we want removals? Unit and spell upgrades both don't really matter to me. You know what? Let's go to the left. Take the dupe, take the extra coins for maybe a bit of extra score. None of these are really interesting to me. I think this deck is honestly just strong enough to win as is without any upgrades, removals, or relics. And by that I mean without spending any gold and losing score to it. Because we will not get a flying kill, that will just not happen. So instead, we'll keep the gold for score. These Shadowwings are certainly scary. And not having any morsel in the starting hand is not great. We do have lifesteal at the moment, at least. Okay, now we can start to scale. This is fine. This will be fine, no problem so far. This, however, well, 110, this is also fine. We just need to start scaling as fast as we can, and then nothing bad can happen to us. I'm considering keeping this Making of a Morsel for next turn, so I can use my Shroud Mitosises with it. And just setting up this floor right now. You know what? I am gonna dripfall this guy. We still have enough damage to kill everyone on this floor, but that means we save the lifesteal. We don't use the lifesteal this turn, we only use it next turn after taking 60 damage, which is a very effective use of lifesteal in my book. And we can kill everyone here. Very nice. Okay, next up. What's our consume pile like? Well, we are guaranteed to get a morsel at least. Yes, so might as well use it. Morsel miner goes here. Traumatosis, very nice. Let's play this guy. We can take the damage from the Vengeful Shard. We already healed 3, so we have 3 health. We can... like... 3 health worth of buffer, so to speak. We boost this guy's attack, but that doesn't matter. As long as Penumbra survives the damage from all these guys, which they will, Penumbra will heal up back to full. Making of a morsel, Shade Splitter, and then Traumatosis. No, we have another Traumatosis in the deck. I think I'm gonna keep the making of a morsel again. Although... yeah, let's just do this. And play the Vengeful Shard. Should be fine. This top floor is looking great. This floor is fine. Now here is where the trouble begins. Let's use engine upgrade on the top floor. I really want that active. We do have a feast this turn. The lifesteal is nice, just to heal back up. The feast doesn't see any use, I suppose. It's engulfed in smoke here, so we are safe against future waves coming to the top. Do I want to play the feast? Yeah, it's extra damage. It's quite a bit of extra damage against the Gilded Wing. Actually enough to get a kill. Okay. This wave, so far so good. This is clear. Here we need to hit the backliner. That's not what I meant with backliner, but I guess you could interpret it that way. This is a slight problem, because we won't be able to kill this Gilded Wing, and it's a bit late into the fight to assume that we will be able to heal back all the damage we take. So I am considering drip falling this. Now if I count the turns on Seraph, I wonder if there's a way to... Well, we are definitely pretty far into the fight, and with the permafrost I am certain we can stall long enough. We have Traumatosis, but we have 2 Sacred Wicks, so let's get another Morsel Miner. eat everything, gobble them up, become powerful. Certainly want the Morsel Miner. All 3 Vengeful Shards in the same hand. Well, we don't have to play them, but I think we can play them pretty safely. And this time we don't want to feast because it kills the Shadewings. No, that doesn't matter. We just want to hold the feast over for next turn. And on this turn we just cave in the top floor to make sure we don't take any damage. Well, let's look at what we are doing on the other floors first. We are definitely generating a morsel and playing it for the extra draw. And then I guess we cave in. Let's also generate another morsel, gobble them up, and play out the Vengeful Shard. Drag can go on the top floor. And this is the final wave, and we have 37 damage shield on this guy, so yeah. GG, my dear Seraph. Let me just get some overkill going on here, because that's fun. Yeah, as I predicted, a very consistent run, bottom floor kills every time, almost no damage taken at all, no flying kills though. Yeah, if that fight went for much longer we would have been done for. That wave I overstacked with the cave-in was certainly not gonna be nice to us. We managed to break the 46k score, which is great because that means we will be in the top 3 or so. Yeah, the upgraded drafts definitely helped us get a lot of permafrost, especially permafrost, but some other effects as well, such as the consume removal on the sacred wicks. And that turned out to be great because we had a cave-in at the right time, we could hold the shroud mitosis and the making of a morsels for when we could combine them for maximum effect. The engulfed in smoke that came with double stack was pretty helpful, although not run defining in no way. The model traits were outdated pretty quickly because we went with other defensive measures, and considering that, I probably should have removed them over removing the hallowed drippings, because the hallowed drippings consume and the model traits were just dead weights for us basically. The Weatherite Cold Stones actually gave us 1,000 extra points in this fight, so that's definitely impressive. Although who knows, if I skipped it, maybe I could have done better in this fight because I would have drawn better, but I don't think so. I don't think I could have avoided taking this the damage from one of the Gilded Wings at the very least. So yeah, Cold Stones definitely worth picking up there. And the damage in the early fights was just unavoidable, I think. The only thing we could have saved gold on, well, the only thing we could have improved our score was really saving gold, I think. And maybe that would mean not buying the Mask of Penumbra, but it was so valuable over the course of this game. Maybe it was not buying upgrades. The holdover on the feast was not really necessary. That's the one upgrade I can say that was not necessary. That would have given us like 85, 90 score more if we didn't buy it. But, you know, that's not that big of a deal. I think I even rerolled for it, so would have been a bit more than that even. Yeah, if I had taken Baron or the Thug, I could have gotten more gold and a better score. But honestly, this is pretty solid. We are sitting here at second place, a little bit below Ragnar. Let's take a look at their deck. So they managed to not take damage on the Winged Horde fight, which is pretty impressive. They took a lot more damage in the early fights than we did. Oh, wow. How? Okay. Huh. Six Crucible Wands. I guess. Well, they went Penumbra with the Architect Penumbra, so they could have Penumbra on one floor and the Crucible Warden on the same floor, as well as every other floor. And yeah, Cave-In to Overstack. Did we have Cave-In back then? I think we had it. Yeah, Cave-In and Dripfall. Yeah, they overstacked a ton of Crucible Wardens on the same floor. That's actually genius. I didn't think about the overstacking Crucible Wardens, but honestly, these Crucible Wardens are kind of chunky by themselves. Like 40 attack, 70 health. If you overstack a bunch of these with multi-strike also, if you overstack a bunch of these on a single floor, it doesn't matter that you can't really feed them as well. And you can feed them with a holdover Dripfall and 2 cave-ins. You can just send some morsels on there from time to time, and you can just stack a morsel maker there. And yeah, smoke helps as well. So you have a variety of ways of defending the floor. If you descend the morsel maker there, then you're good. The morsel maker, well, if you do it with not Dripfall, but with Cave-In, or just play him at the very beginning, play morsel maker there and the Crucible Wardens, and then just gradually drop the others with Dripfall or Cave-In. Yeah, that works out. Still a 5-turn boss rush is pretty impressive. So he killed Daedalus on the 4th turn. Not bad, not bad. But yeah, I can see that. I mean, one of these Crucible Wardens already takes out most of the enemies. The second one is free to hit Daedalus, and that's already 80 damage. And then the third one, that kills pretty quickly. Yeah, he definitely deserved the win for seeing this brilliant strategy and also not sucking too badly on the other fights. It probably also helped him with killing Gilded Wings a lot. But he had more problem dealing with the Scorchers from Fel, I guess. And because he was reliant on playing cards that cost Ember every turn. Multiple cards. He wants to set up new Crucible Wardens. He wants to Dripfall or Cave-In them. If he had an early turn with bad draw, or maybe he just took the 5 damage from the very first Scorch. And yeah, that was all the damage he took in a fight. Yeah, I like that deck. That's very cool. Next up, it's my deck, and then... Whoa, this looks wild. This guy took so many units. Oh, he found Endless for the Bounty Stalker, but they never grew that big. I think this guy also went with a overstack plan, but I'm not sure about it. I mean, this looks like it would work, but it seems inconsistent in the setup. Ooh, he perfected the first fight. That's interesting. That's pretty impressive. Not sure how. Yeah, but after the first few rounds, his deck went pretty much as good as it could have gone. They only lost 5 points to us because they didn't keep enough gold. Okay, so that was a pretty successful daily challenge. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm looking forward to the next one.